Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today we are reviewing two of the best in-ear true wireless earbuds, and they are almost in the same category in relation to. These are the Soundcore Liberty 4s, and these are the Soundcore Liberty 4 NC. Now, what is the difference? Well, there's a couple of design differences, and there's a couple of feature differences as well. One is more premium, the other one is more budget. And I'm going to talk about whether or not you should consider getting these. I'm going to make it nice and quick. I'm going to put the specs for this because these have been out for a little while now. I'll put the specs in the description below, and I'm just going to talk about the real world look, feel, and how they are in the ear. Okay, so, and I'm also going to obviously recommend whether you should get one and which ones you should go for. Let's get into it. Okay, so one of the things I do like to do very quickly is to put each one in my ear so you can see the profile, because I think the profile of these things is actually quite important. So I'm going to put the Liberty 4s in first. Now they come in four different color variations: black, white, quite a nice purple one, and a champagne color as well, which is kind of like a gold color. And the earbud themselves are really cool, but we'll look at the design of the box in just a moment. So I'm just going to put this in my ear. So that's going to go in there like that. And this one has got quite a nice spring mechanism. We'll have a look at that as well in a moment. And that one sits in there. So you can see now for yourself, if I turn my head left and right, the design profile as it sits inside my ear. Now, the good thing is they've both activated their ANC, so we've got active noise cancellation. And the point of these ones is that they're supposed to be extremely good at blocking out ambient noise. So they claim 98%, and there is no major claim on these ones, but they also have ANC. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. But before we talk about that, let's have a little look at the design of the box and the earbuds themselves. These, of course, are the Liberty 4 NCs. Now, they come in a very nice blue color here, baby blue, but you can also get them in four other colors that I'll put up on the screen here as well, which are very, very nice. So when we've got them out of the box, you can see it's a very cool but very plastic design. You've obviously got the pins here, and there is no capacitive button to push or anything whatsoever. You have got some microphones there that are very nice. And it is overall a very nice design and comfortable in the ear. One of the features I like the most, though, is the LED light here. This will show you battery indication. It will also show you when you're charging as well. And obviously it will fill up the bar as it either degrades or obviously improves the battery and going forward. Wireless charging, and of course USB Type-C port here. Switching over to the Liberty 4s. We've got a slightly different design box, very, very nice, with a bit of silver trim. We lift up the lid. This time it's a push-up button, push-up lid even. And the design is similar, but a little bit different. So the main body is very similar, but the main difference here is that that is a push button. Now that's actually an active push button that you can hear clicking from. And it is functional when you can get it, but I found that I kept losing it. I don't know why. It was very, very strange. The position is quite rotated close to my face. And some people really like the ability to have a physical button instead of just tapping on the side, which actually I've got quite used to now anyway. As you can see, of course, it comes with multiple earbuds. These are the largest ones. In fact, they're the ones that filled my ear the best. And you've got, of course, LEDs inside, which Soundcore are getting really good at mastering now. And they indicate, obviously, when they're connected or when they're charging. You've got the reset button there as well. And then, of course, you've got your USB Type-C connection as well. Okay, so we've had a little look at the design, and we do like the look of that. That's actually very, very cool. I personally prefer the design here of the Liberty 4s. They're a little bit more sleek, a little bit more slim profile as well, which I do quite enjoy. I've had to put the largest earbuds into my ears in order to completely seal the ear canal. It comes with 4 in total in the box, as does the NC as well. Now, both have wireless charging, which is great. Everyone knows I love to put my buds on for the wireless charging, which is super handy. They both have very useful light indicators as well. So this one's actually got a push button mechanism that works like that, which we saw in the design. Oh, if I get it right. And there you can see the amount of battery as well. So that's a very clever design. Actually, is really well done. And they sit in there really, really nicely. This one is just a simple push-up like the original Liberty 3s, or the Liberty 3 Pros, which in my opinion are still some of the best earbuds available. And that just snaps shut. But you've also got the light indicator across the bottom there as well. So that will show you when it's charging, how much battery life there is, and even when you're connecting to it as well. So that's very, very cool. Both are very reasonably sized. Both have USB Type-C charging as well, as we've already said, and they've both got wireless charging as well. So let's get to the crux of it, right? The point of this is, what is the ANC like and what is the sound quality like? So the ANC on the Liberty 4 NCs, I feel, are actually inferior to their claims. They don't necessarily block out all the sound. And when I use the transparency, which pushes sound through to your ear, I find that it actually has a bit of a hiss and a whistle. Obviously that can happen with wind, but I tried it in a semi-quiet environment as well, and I got the same problem. But in a stable environment like this one, and I've got ANC switched on, not transparency, then they do work really well. They're very good at just blocking out all of those other sounds that are not too excessive and just giving you almost complete silence, which is really, really nice. Now, you get all of that, plus I feel with these stronger ANC as well. I don't understand quite what the difference is because they're both from the same company. There's only a price point difference. The ear canal is entirely closed up on both of them, but I feel that these ones are better at managing and cancelling, most essentially, the noise that's coming through to them. So again, it's just a case of which one you're paying for. Now, sadly, they do claim that these are the more powerful in ANC, but I find that the Liberty 4s are actually the stronger noise cancelling, which isn't too much of a surprise because, of course, they're also slightly more expensive. So that's a bit of a shame. Anyway, getting into the sound quality, in exactly the same capacity, the differences are minimal. And the most exciting thing about the Soundcores is that they do have their own app. Now, the app is a big, big part of why you buy these earbuds, because there's so much customization. There's so many different EQ profiles that you can use, that in itself can make either one of these totally worth buying. You get the same app for either one. The app will recognize the device you're using, and it will provide you with all of the controls for the tap controls, as well as for all of the functions and the audio qualities that you want to have, whether it be transparency mode off or obviously having ANC on as well. Now, talking of controls, this one is a tap controller, so you literally tap it on the side to get it to do something. This one now, the new design for the more premium version is to actually have a functional button. And the same was done by Nothing. And more of the earphones are swinging back round to having a functional push button. But I don't like this one. Unfortunately, the push button on here is quite finicky and hard to find. So it's actually right there. So when we had a look at the design feature, you can see that, but it's right there. And to push it, you can hear the click, which is good, but finding it, especially if you're walking or if you're running, is a bit annoying. So there's a little bit of adjustment to take with that one. Whereas I find with the Liberty 4 NCs, it's just the same tap and so on. That's very receptive, very well practiced, and the device and myself are used to that. Whereas this one, it was quite annoying. I just kept cutting off the music instead of double clicking, which is what I wanted, to skip to the next track. So that, unfortunately, may get better as I get used to them, but initially it was quite annoying, actually. So I found myself just pulling my phone out to control it, which is, again, defeating the object. Volume control isn't controllable from both of the devices. The Liberty NCs, you can't control volume. You have to use the device, but you can control volume here. But you do have to sacrifice some functionality. So if you want to have Google Assistant, for example, you can't have then volume control as well. So there's a little bit of give and take. Otherwise, the final topic, of course, is always going to be the sound quality. What do they sound like? Again, this comes down to usually the more you pay for something, the better the quality of sound. I just find the depth of bass and richness of sound is better on the Liberty 4s than the NCs, but you're not going to notice a huge difference if you don't have both of them. So I've obviously tested both out one after the other consecutively using the same song, for example, and I just find there's a bit of a richer sound coming from the Liberty 4s. Now, in terms of price point, and that's as simple as that, it really is. There's more bass, the clarity of the treble is good, the mids are good, the highs are a little bit lacking, particularly on the NC, whereas I felt that these were slightly better. Actually not as good as the Nothing 2s, which I've also reviewed. If you follow the descriptions, you'll see that. Not quite as good as those quite surprised me. But the bass is good, the quality, the crispness is good. I had a little bit of call connectivity issue in that it was actually more muffled on the Liberty 4s than it was on the Liberty 4 NCs. The person on the other side didn't notice a difference using either one of those. But for me, for some reason, I don't know if it was the connection, on a couple of occasions when I tested it, it was more muffled coming through on the more expensive earbuds. I don't know if that was a Bluetooth connection issue. They're obviously both rocking the latest Bluetooth 5.2. So very strange reaction, but nonetheless, it worked out all right. So my recommendation is going to be, of course, to go for, if you can, the Liberty 4s. Now, I got these for just over 100 euros. These cost 90. So if you can find these on a deal, in a discount, or even second hand for 100 euros, they're an absolute bargain. They're 150 normal retail price. These are 90 euros retail value. So the difference of, 70 euros is quite significant. But if you can minimize that disparity by getting these on offer, you definitely want to go for these, because these are going to be the better all-rounders, of course. Now, if you're in that sort of budget, then we're talking about the Nothing Ear 2s. We can even get hold of some second-hand earbuds, or even some Sony MX4s. So then you start to look at it in a slightly different way. But the profile of these are very comfortable. They are very comfortable in your ear. You don't forget that they're ear. They're not as comfortable as the Galaxy Buds Pro, but because they've got the stems, you definitely know they're there, and you can feel them in your ears quite well. With the Buds, was one of the few earbuds, the Samsung Buds Pro, where I almost completely forgot they were there, which was amazing. In addition to all the other skills that it has, or technology. So these are going to be your best bet. For me, the profile is also better. And I just feel that you get a little bit more bang for your buck using the Soundcore Liberty 4s. All right, so that's my recommendation. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you've got them, or if you're interested in getting them, put a comment below. I'd love to know your reaction and what you feel about it. If you disagree with anything I've said, make sure you put a comment below. I love the conversation. We're getting some really good banter in my comments now. So if you want to discuss any of these or recommend any future videos, just let me know. Otherwise, make sure you like and subscribe, because I've got some things coming out very, very soon. Very excited about the next phone that I'm reviewing very soon. Otherwise, I'll see you very, very soon, and have a great day. Bye-bye for now.